The Iron Horse symbolized the very essence of America: opportunity, progress, and the spirit of westward expansion. It also represented unbridled capitalism and forever altered the way of life for America's indigenous people.
I look back at it and I think it's amazing we survived it all sometimes.
The railroads were the glamour industry of their day. They worked a paradigm shift, really, in the American economy, where we worked, how we worked.
The train, of course, helped turn the American wilderness into civilization. It helped the rise of industry, corporations.
They're a vital part of the industrialization of America, as well as the settlement of it.
In an era in which 4 railroads already spanned the North American continent, James J. Hill took on the unthinkable task of building his own transcontinental railway, and he would do so largely without the aid of federal land grants.
It is a huge undertaking.
He launches these construction crews, thousands of men, animals, supplies, in a record-breaking race across the Great Plains.
He was driven. I mean, you couldn't do these things unless you were driven.
He was known as the Empire Builder and the Devil's Curse. Streets, towns, and counties were named in his honor, along with a persistent and invasive weed. He was mythologized in novels and was the subject of folk songs and Union battle cries.
He had unlimited energy. He was as stubborn as the day is long.
He had a temper. Every now and then he would fire somebody, and then the next day, why didn't you go to work today? Well, you fired me yesterday.
That arrogance, supreme arrogance, is just fascinating.
He would do more to transform the northern tier of the United States than any other individual. In the process, native tribes were displaced from their homelands to make way for immigrants and homesteaders.
It's a matter of capitalism versus spiritualism.
Wherever he pointed his line, new towns emerged and countless others prospered from the economic boon.
And that's what Hill referred to. He said, some people build great monuments. This railroad is my monument.
He was a catalyst for the agriculture, timber, and mining industries of the West, and did more to open new markets in Asia than anyone of his generation.
He was thinking globally. That's what makes him truly a transportation genius.
Over time, he recognized the impact the railroads had on the nation's natural resources and became a leading advocate for the environment. At the helm of his empire, he weathered economic panics and staggering recessions, guiding the only transcontinental railroad to go unscathed by bankruptcy. He battled labor unions and industry titans, fought back hostile takeovers, and tested the limits of how big a corporation could be.
Hill was not above using his power. He liked a good turf fight.
It allows you to see capitalism in the raw. What is fair and what is unfair?
How big can a company be before perhaps it poses a danger?
Hill was a giant of his time in his vision, in his execution, and certainly in the public eye.
He knew he wasn't just building a railroad. The railroad was the lifeblood to an empire.
I think what he did can only be described in one word: audacious.
Audacious in boldness, in visionary thinking, in master planning.
He not only changed trade, he changed the way the world worked.
There absolutely was no equal.